Hey guys, how's it going? I hope your summer is treating you well as we continue with our class. And it is now week 5 for our online class. And first and foremost, if you have not submitted or emailed me your finished research essay, please make sure that you do so. Remember that it was due yesterday. You are now viewing this on Monday. So remember it was due Sunday, July 2nd. And it is worth 150 points. So please make sure that you get that turned in, because each day that it is late, it drops a letter grade, which is equivalent to 16 points. So if you happen to get it turned in to me today, the highest grade you could potentially get on it would be a B. If you turn it in tomorrow, the highest grade you could potentially get on the paper is a C. Also remember that you needed to make sure that it was a minimum of 1,500 words, along with 4 cited sources. So make sure to get that turned in as well. This week, you guys have 2 assignments as we move forward toward our argumentation and group debate project. Going to have a little bit of a break between the research paper and the group debate project. I will go more into detail about the group debate project next week. I will break you guys into the groups you will be in for the next 2 consecutive weeks after this week, and I will also give you guys the topics you can vote on for the group debate project. But again, like I said, I will make that available in more detail next week. However, for this week, 2 individual writing assignments. The first one is an actual individual writing assignment titled Truly Convinced, and you can find that in the individual writing section. As we approach the discussion of rhetoric and debate, we initially have to ask ourselves what it takes to convince ourselves of anything. So there might be things that you do throughout a day that you really don't need to think twice about. Maybe you want to go for breakfast or not go for breakfast. You want to go for coffee or not go for coffee. You want to go to class today or not go to class today. Those things you might think of, and it might be an easy convince for you. However, there are other aspects, other topics that might be more deeply rooted in you, and you might have a particular foundation for why those particular sorts of beliefs exist. And so it might take a little bit more convincing for you to either give up on those beliefs or completely change those beliefs. And that's going to be one of the challenges you and your group will have to face next week when trying to figure out how do you get an audience to understand where you're coming from and also buy in to what it is you are trying to get them on board with. So the Truly Convinced assignment is going to sort of be introspective. It's going to dive in to that particular sort of topic. Under the individual writing section here, you will find that it will be available. Please make sure you post to that individual writing section. You can either post it there or you can email it to me. It is up to you, but either way, make sure you do so by Sunday, July 9th. This assignment will be worth 10 points. The other individual writing assignment is under the discussion board, which is titled Structuring Arguments. You will need to begin reading Chapter 7, pages 121 through 144 in your textbook. The response for this particular homework assignment is on page 129. So the chapter is going to give you some insight into structuring your argument, something you will have to consider when you work on your actual project and when you structure your arguments going forward. But again, like with the individual writing assignment, this will also be due Sunday, July 9th, but it is worth 15 points since there is reading attached to it as well. Here, under my master sort of class, you will see the area for the group debate section. Obviously, on your particular class site, you won't see it yet, but when I do make it available next week, it will be very similar to the research papers section. You will have different folders with information on argumentation, on convincing, on different examples and presentations and group debate topics that people have talked about in the past. So I will make that available to you next week. However, this week, again, if you have not turned in that first research paper, make sure you do so and continue to work on the 2 individual writing assignments. I will make sure that you guys are put into your groups by next week. I will explain more of that further next week, so just hold on tight and just work on what is due this week before we move any further. Continue with your writing, and I hope you guys have a good week.